Welcome to Tear Down These Walls podcast. Here we tear down the walls of silence, shame, and stigma, one story at a time. And today, for episode 9, I have my beautiful godmother, Debbie O'Toole, with me. Debbie, you're very welcome. You were getting giddy there before we started. But as I said, or I say to everybody, it does go after we start talking. We start to forget we're doing a podcast. But usually I just start with where you're from and what was it like growing up in Sheriff Street as a child, Debbie?
I'm from Sheriff Street, as you know.
I do.
Yeah. What was it like growing up in Sheriff Street? Great and not so great. Do you know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
I have so many memories of Sheriff Street. School, gals, girls playground.
Gals, no one has said that. Yeah, I remember Gal.
Do you remember Gal?
I remember Gal.
Yeah.
The tall man.
Nada May.
Nada May.
Oh my God, I'm old.
I forgot about this. You're the first person to bring that back up.
And we'd be on the roof. Do you remember you two came down?
I don't remember that, but my dad was there. No, I mean, I wasn't even born, Debbie.
Right, you were.
Because my man always told me the story, because the song I used for my first podcast is Where the Streets Have No Name. It always reminds me of Sheriff Street. And my ma told me a story about when you two came down and my dad and all the lads were throwing bottles at them. How little did they know how massive you two.
They were bashed. And Peggy Flood actually walked off the roof. She walked and she walked off it. Yeah, so it was madness, mayhem, but they put on a great show. It was great, yeah. We had, and the girls' playground, round towers, football,
all the games.
I only put the picture of Pat Mitchell out on Facebook the other day, and I'm standing beside him, and I'm real tomboy with a hat and all on me, with the hair.
How old were you in it, Debbie?
I think I was I'd say about 12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. A picture of me dad in it.
Had you?
Yeah. So Sheriff Street was great. I loved Sheriff Street. Salt of the earth. You know, say people, salt of the earth. But then there was the other side.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Where you went to school in St. Lawrence
O'Toole.
How was your schooling for you? Because we've had mixed sort of conversations about the schooling.
I was very bored.
You didn't do what you were told, Debbie.
No, I remember. I always remember this. I was kept back because of Mitchell, and they kept me back. And my teacher, her name was Miss Hines. She was the catechism teacher.
She was still there when I was there.
Yeah, serious.
Miss Hines, yeah.
Yeah, I gave a brutal life. Very rebellious. And she kept me back, and she put me into a room, and there was a big statue of Mary. And I used to throw the balls and wall out to Ashley Cabinet for her to tie a cigarette on. I was like, pull the smoke up. So I'm standing there smoking the cigarette out, throwing the wool down till she tied the cigarette. And I'm standing there smoking. And I look over, and there was a steamer, a steamroller.
Yeah.
And do you remember Alan McCarthy?
Yes.
Went right over him. And I'm screaming out the window for someone to come. And no, there was kids there, but no one seen what happened.
You know what, Debbie? I forgot about that story. I do remember hearing it. I would have been younger, but I didn't know that you had witnessed that.
Yeah, I witnessed, yeah.
You've witnessed. I know we were speaking in the car, but we'll get to that in a bit. But I had no idea.
So when I'm freaking out, and I'm like, somebody help him, whatever. And I knocked the statue down, and the head of the statue come off, right? And I'm like, I could see the steamer going over him. Yeah, it was.
How old were you, Debbie?
I think I could have been about. No, I was young. I was about 10, 9, 10. I'm not sure. Look.
Yeah.
This all happened around the time. So I knocked the statue down, and the head fell off. And teacher comes up and starts giving it loads and running them up with me and everything. And I'm trying to tell him, the child, like, he's had to get run over. I didn't know what to say. Like, he's had to get knocked down. Yeah, so, and then, I don't know what happened, but he's always on my mind, Alan, always.
Well, you wouldn't have got, like, it's not like today. There'd be no counselling. Not right now at school, let's say we need to provide a counselling service, or you know, you'd be brought to something. But that wouldn't have happened back then, Debbie. So that was just you.
It was just let go. I was more. They gave out more to me about the statue. They was killing over the statue, and I'm trying to tell them these had to get knocked down. When you're a child, I don't listen. Of
course,
and especially when you're a rebellious child, you're saying not going to listen to you.
Yeah,
you know. So then there was the time I used to mind you, and then I'd be running down. I'd be minding Lisa's kids, the Freddie and that.
Yeah.
Then there'd be Joey's kids, but no, not Ian. They were really babies at the time. She even got Ian.
There was only 9 months between them, or 10 months between them. So
I was running between 3 places.
Families babysitting.
So I remember one night, I was about 10 years of age, and I'm on the stairs, and I'm going through trauma as it is, you know, through abuse when I was whatever. And I used to run out of my ma's and hide and smoke. And I'd be robbing. Do you remember Lily MacDonald?
Lily Bollard.
Lily Bollard. I call her.
Yeah, I call her Lily. I remember Lily well. Yeah,
so I would rob all her roach when I was young, because I was
How old were you, Debbie?
I was only around 10.
And you were taking roach at that age?
To take my mind off from what I was going through. Yeah. Do you know?
So you found, like what I've spoke about, you found something that was easing your pain at that young age.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was young, Debbie. I really did. I started at about 12.
Yeah.
But 10.
Probably even younger, Lisa, because of what I was going through.
And did anybody realise like what you were going through? Oh,
no.
People were really good at sort of not seeing or not what. And look at it, people had so much going in their lives as well. I think back then, like it was difficult. That I don't know whether it was a conscious decision that people didn't want to see the children struggled. I don't know, Debbie. You know, I know I speak a lot.
There was a lot shoved pushed under the carpet. I know that. We all know that.
Well, there's nothing surer. I mean, from the conversations I've had with people, and, you know, and off this as well, we'd have a little chat. And there's so many people with similar stories about the same type of stuff, and nobody seemed to notice. And then some of them came out and told, and they weren't believed.
So, I know my immediate family didn't know because they wouldn't have never let it happen. Do you know what I mean? But then something did happen, and you know, I don't really want to get into that.
That's fine. No, we don't have to. Debbie.
So, anyways, I'm standing on the stairs and I'm having a cigarette, and I knew me ma. I have to go in because she'd smell the smoke out me, so I had to wait for a while for the smell of smoke to come, and a fella come up the stairs. I know well, like there was family and everything. I was only a kid, but I knew like the streets. Well, no, I wasn't really allowed to go off to Sheriff Street, but I'd sneak him. Remember the what you call it, the women, the children, the girls' playground.
Yeah,
I could sneak around into Leidenses, so that's how I'd get to Sheriff Street, because they all want to kill me. I'll be in Sheriff Street, and like, what? I live in Sheriff Street. The school is in Sheriff Street.
Well, you were after moving over to the houses, weren't you, from the flats?
We moved from the lanes to the flats, and then from the flats to the houses.
I forgot that you lived in the
lanes.
Yeah,
I was knocked down in them lanes. Got my court.
Did he knock you down?
I can say his name because he passed away. No, he passed away, Gamma.
Okay.
So he knocked me down years ago when I was in them lanes.
Okay.
So mad stuff happened, but only recently, as I was telling you, things is coming back up, and I'm like, oh, that happened and that happened, because you do forget.
Yeah.
And he came up the stairs, and he came over to me really nice, and says to me, "Debbie, will you go into your ma's?" And I'm like, "No,
having your cigarettes."
I'm not going into my. Next of all, a thing he whips out. It wasn't a gun; it was something else that he whipped out. And he said, "Please, just go in." And I still wouldn't go in. And he walked down the balcony, and like in 5 minutes, they blew the head off him. And he was just lying there, no face. And I ran down. And I never, ever forget that. Never in my life. It has stayed with me all my life.
How would any child forget something like that, Debbie.
I don't know.
And just so people know listening, so it was a shooting that happened and you were there in the flats a long time ago. And I remember my ma telling me the story about it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something I don't know about, but I didn't know that you were present and witnessed that and we spoke
seen
about
everything that happened that night. Yeah. And the thing was, I knew him. I knew his family. And the chaos that happened after it was just, and no one would listen. I'm a child. No one's going to listen to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, anything like that causes a divide in a small community, doesn't it?
Because everyone thought it was somebody else. They were all, I'm not going to say it was him. He's dead. He's dead. And I'm like, it's not him. It's not him. You know?
And like, I'm just trying to look at it from now and the way things are. Like, you know, did anyone sit you down and say, are you all right? How are you feeling after that? I mean, that's a massive trauma. That, like, you're after seeing a young lad being killed by a steamroller. And then at the same age, like you're after witnessing like a really violent murder.
I witnessed another one 6 years after that as well. Another fella done the same thing, shot a fella straight to the face. Right, I was running. We were walking together. And I never sit down and think like, oh, I went through all this. It just doesn't dawn on me. Like, that was just the way life was. Lisa.
Do you know what it is, Debbie? And I've said this to people because if I've told my story to someone and people look at me with that look and saying, are you for real? And because it's my story now, it's just a story.
Yeah, it wasn't a big, like, that's just the way life was.
Yeah, so it was like you become very accustomed to what's going on around you. And I think you become very comfortable with chaos, with madness, with criminality, I always say. With like the use of drugs in front of you, people selling them, people taking them. It was very normal for us. And like I'm listening to all these stories, and after I've been looking back at my own, and I say, how could we have been normal without what we've inflicted on ourselves, like addiction? I mean, when you were telling me the stuff coming down in the car, I wasn't aware of. I was aware of some of your stuff, but I was not aware of all that, Debbie. And I'm thinking of a 10-year-old child now, and I know 10-year-old kids, 11-year-old kids, and I'm imagining what they'd be like at 20 after witnessing that. So what was the effects after that, Debbie? Like what?
I just ended up on drugs. That's what, and suicidal, and all that goes with it. I
think it's important for people to know, and any person that suffers with addiction, whatever it is, like what it did for me, it made everything feel okay. It gave me that, inside.
Yeah.
I felt better inside. And then when I think about stuff, I was like, should that happened years ago? That doesn't matter. That doesn't affect me now. I'm over that. That's what being, an alcoholic gave me. I was able to function and carry on.
Absolutely, yeah.
I didn't have any healthy tools to deal with the trauma.
Nothing. That was what we had. We wanted a barrier. I wanted a barrier. I couldn't live with what I was after being put through. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't function without drugs. When my first turn-on was in prison, I was 16 years of age, and they put me into the annex with a girl that had a virus.
Where was the annex,
Debbie? It was in Mountjoy.
Okay.
So they had no way to put me. I got locked up. I was only 16. And when I had that turn-on, I'm like, this is it, I've arrived.
A turn-on, because I had to ask you, is that the first time you used?
Yeah.
So what would you have been using before you went into prison? Like, was it just tablets or alcohol? Or?
No, that was me. Yeah, I wasn't taking any. I was tablets, drink, hash, which I didn't like at all because I used to get paranoid.
Never liked hash. It was the one drug that I could never take, Debbie.
I'd be like, come to the bed. They're all talking about it. It's not even around. Like, you for real. No one cares about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the only... remember we were talking about, because I used to deliver it when I was a child as well. I used to deliver
the hash flowers. We were talking because I was saying, about the things I did as a kid, and I was like, Debbie, none of it was normal. It's all fucking madness. And you were saying to me, I used to deliver it as well up to the cattle market, and I says, we never were sent up to the cattle market. We were only over the flat, over the street. But
he'd send me all the way up the cattle market, and I'd have a trolley. And if anyone stops you, it's chocolate.
You were giving stories to tell, but we knew not to tell. We knew to say we found them.
I was very secretive, absolutely. And then he'd give me the big 10 on it, like, yeah, look at me. And I thought I was...
And you know what? I said to you coming down, that we were being rewarded from doing the wrong thing from such a young age. Yeah, and then you get the pat on the head, and then I'd say, I'm sound. They think I'm great. Look, I'm at the delivering that. And then I'd have money in my pocket. I'm a good girl. I'm great. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Oh, for fuck's sake, Debbie.
We were groomed as kids, really. And we didn't know.
We were set up to be criminals. Like, well, what else are you going to be?
Yeah. But I'm being honest with you, Lisa, I loved that life. I loved it until it got so bad that I slit my wrists and tried to hang myself because I couldn't cope with my mind.
Well, was that early?
Stop walking, love.
I know that. I know.
At 35.
So you were in, just because I know you said you were in Mountjoy at 16, and that was the fourth time that you took heroin.
Yeah.
And then did that continue for you, Debbie?
Yeah, that's it. I think once a person takes heroin, because it's so... It's just...
What was it like, Claire?
It's like I've arrived. Okay, all my problems are gone. All the fear, the anxiety is gone. All my worries is gone. I'm running through the poppy fields. I'm running through the fields. I don't care about anything. My mind is after slowing down. I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about all the shit I went through.
It's like an artificial peace.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it grips you. And that's it. You're done. You're on a mission for the rest of your life. Well, until they stop walking,
I remember you minding me as a young child, and you were always Debbie to me, like loud. You always said this saying, because you stood for me, and I should have stood all over you every time I'd meet you. And then I remember I'd meet you and you'd have Rob Gere, and because you'd be at missing a birthday or something, you'd feel bad. Listen, Debbie. Listen, I'd miss a lot of people's birthdays myself. But you'd be selling whatever, and you'd take something out of the bag and say, here, and you'd give me something. That's for your birthday. Yeah, but I did notice, I think, at a certain age that there was something not right with you. Like, you were always done up, and, you always look great and good-looking girl. You were always good-looking. No, you were, Debbie. Your dark hair and your lovely eyes. But I knew, I was too young, and then I started realising who was on hard drugs. I started being able to, identify like behaviours when I was younger. I don't know how I found out, but I just knew there was a certain group of people that was taking, like harder drugs than hash or cocaine. I never heard of when I was younger on Sheriff Street. It wasn't something.
It wasn't something.
But so I knew then, and maybe I asked my ma, and my ma probably told me or something, Debbie. I don't know, but I knew that you were probably not in a great place when I was probably a teenager.
Yeah, I was like in and out of prison, but I always left Sheriff Street because I didn't want my family. I didn't want my son to see me all the time, and I didn't want, even though he was young, the kid bleeding loved me. He idolised the ground I walked, and I wasn't there for him, and that ripped me asunder. And I thought, but maybe if I get out Sheriff Street, maybe if I go here, go there. So me and his dad, we went to live in London to come off everything. It was the worst thing we could have done, Lisa. So I brought him with me. Yeah. I think he actually escaped from prison, and I met him.
It was his Paul, your partner at the time. And how old were you having Lee?
I was 17 when I had Lee.
17 having Lee. Yeah. I don't know why I thought you were older, Debbie.
Yeah, I was only a kid as well. When I got out after the 4th sentence, which was only 9 months, and it was a big thing that happened because they locked me ma up as well. So I was on to look after the kids, only my dad. My dad wasn't able, So there's big writing on the paper and all like
Yeah, because how many of you is there? I forgot to ask you that. I always ask.
There's 8 of us, and my
8.
son is 9.
And your son was 9. He was like another sibling,
he
wasn't
was
he? Because you had him
sibling, yeah.
young. So you were in prison. Your ma got
Yeah.
locked up at the same time. And Paddy, oh God love him, he was left
Yeah.
with.
Left with all the kids.
Yeah.
But he was an amazing dad.
I know.
Great man. You know, like he had his drinking issues, he had drinking problems.
But he was very friendly.
He looked
and,
after the kids
yeah.
when my ma couldn't do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah, they locked her up as well. They locked the 2 of us up.
What was that like, Debbie, being in with your ma?
Oh no, she was up there and I was over there.
Well, you're in separate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine. I probably would have got comfort if it was me, that my ma was there with me. That's
Yeah.
how I'd have probably felt. But yeah, it's
she was up in one part. They put me down to another part. So there was I remember Aunt Filoni. I can say this because she's passed away. And she ran amok and she started a petition and everything to get one of us out, and they had it in the paper. And she started a petition and got a load of people to sign it and everything, and I got out.
They let you.
Yeah, it was I could look after the kids.
Okay.
You know, so what wasn't it was a while after, but it was too late, Lisa, because I was after experiencing the drug that was to destroy me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you sit down and when you think about it, I have no regrets, because I wouldn't be sitting here today if I had regrets of my life. Do you know what I mean? It was chaotic. Yeah, it was mental. I was in CMH and everything.
What's the CMH?
Central Mental Hospital.
Sorry, Debbie, because you said that to me earlier and I never said what is that. I said I better ask because I don't. Okay.
But it was a big. So I was locked up and I came up with this big MacGyver in my head. I'm going to get out of here. I need to get out of here, and I planned. I couldn't bleed and run a bat. That's how bad I was, on drugs. So I planned that I'd get someone to bring me up a dropsy, which is called, what dropsy is, right?
To drop you off some, yeah.
So I'd go and get into the squad car with the police, and they'd bring on my way up to the CMH. Because I was after putting in for it already. This was a plan that I had for weeks.
This is when you were in prison. You were planning to get put into Central Mental Hospital.
How I could escape.
Okay.
Yeah, how mental? Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you be even thinking of that madness?
So most of the stuff we can't explain. That we did. Do you know what I mean, Debbie?
So what happened was, I got me dropsy, anyways. And they come and they put me into the squad car. So I had a turn and I goofed off in the car. But my plan, right, was for when they stopped at the traffic lights, I'd jump out and leg it. That was my big plan.
That was your big
MacGyver.
Your MacGyver plan, Debbie.
What is wrong with you? But when you get clean and when you get sober, and you sit down and you think, what?
What was I thinking?
Who was I? Yeah, you know what I mean?
It makes no sense then, does it, Debbie?
There's no sense. There's no sense to the madness that we do, that I don't like. It does not. So that was my plan. When I got up there, oh man, there was bleeding. I was just mental. They stand there and they try to bat you. I'm like, yes, for real, I'm back me bleeding. Certain anyways. So during the night, they come to you and tell you, Dr. So-and-so is going to come around and give you a kiss. So I'm like, now I'm after going through all the madness when I was a child, right? I'm like, Dr. So-and-so, if Dr. So-and-so comes around to you, I'll kill him stone dead. So I don't know what they were up to. To me, they were buzzing with a patient.
Yeah.
A little baldy man come up with a white coat.
It makes
and
no
it's a monster
sense.
around us. And it comes and stands at my door. And goes over to grab me face to give me a kiss. And I just flipped and I lost it. I grabbed him by the whatever,
the stethoscope, is that? Yeah, that they
grabbed him by that, dragged him into the cell with me. And I had lighters. I was out bringing lighters because I had to bring up a little pack with me. And I set the mattress on fire and I wouldn't let him out. And he was a patient. They were saying he was a doctor. He was just buzzing.
They were just
They were
taking the
just
piss out of you,
taking the piss
Debbie.
out of everybody, out of all the patients that's in there. Nothing to do, bored out of their head, so I would take the piss. Yeah.
My God.
So they bleeding killed me. And
So
they,
what
I said,
happened then when that happened? So
because I
you,
wanted to go back up. I wanted to go back to prison. I didn't want to be there now.
the plan didn't
The
work,
plan didn't
Debbie.
work,
The
yeah.
MacGyver plan failed miserably for you.
So I'm like, you better get me out of here. So I tried to set him on fire. I got the mattress. This is how mental. But you know, people playing around with you like that.
Yeah, well, you're unwell anyway,
Yeah,
Debbie.
I was.
Like,
Yeah,
you
so they
know,
should have come
it's-
near me anyways. Because anyway, they bleeding killed me. They said they bashed me, and I was sent back up. And I was so I was happy to get back up.
It was like going up to a 5-star hotel, was it, Debbie?
Yeah,
Then
you don't want to be in a mental hospital in Ireland. Then you know, mental.
So
Yeah.
then, so after prison, then so you went back to prison, and then
Just kept going in and out. You know, we get like 12 months here, 2 years here.
because I think I said to you, I always remember you being there, and then you'd vanish, and I wouldn't see you for ages. And now I understand that you are in and out of prison. But you said you went to London, and
Oh yeah, I went to London, and me and him tried to. Yeah, it was the worst thing I could ever do. I tried to put my uncle into school, and over there they're a little bit advanced than their kids. And my uncle wasn't. He was in school, but he wasn't. Look, he wasn't. His mother and father were on drugs, so he wasn't getting what he needed. He wasn't being nurtured, like you know. I mean, he wasn't looking after him. My mum and dad absolutely looked after him. They reared him, and they reared him to the best of their ability. And he's great now, and he's good young fella. But his real parents weren't there.
and it doesn't matter who's stepping in, Debbie.
It doesn't matter.
Like, because I know myself when I was unwell, and my ma was really good, and my sister was so good, but the children want their mother and their father.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you've done. They're so forgiven, bless them. They just want to be loved by you.
Always forgiven.
So
Yeah, so I thought by having him with me, I'd be able to look after him. Do you know what I mean? I'd take care of him. It was the worst thing, Lisa, because we went over there and then we discovered crack. And I remember I was only over there for about 3 weeks. I got him into school and everything. But I was looking at him and he was miserable. The child was miserable.
He missed home.
He missed Ryan. He missed Bro.
Because they were close together at age. Yeah.
So he missed Ryan. And I was like, look what I'm doing to this child. Do you know? And I asked my ma to take him back. She was screaming for him.
She wanted him home.
She wanted him. She came over and everything. I want that child. You better send him home. Because she knew I wasn't well. And I wouldn't. No, I'm not giving him to. He's mine. He's, you know, like as if he was a piece of bleeding. Yeah, he's mine. Do you know, like, and I remember I said, okay, I'll have to give him because I'm not looking after him. No, I'm not looking after him.
You knew, Debbie.
And I left it. I went to the airport. Yeah. And I gave him to a stewardess and just let him walk off the stewardess. I didn't know her name. Didn't know. I had just seen it. She was from Aer Lingus because she had a green on it, you know. And I didn't give a shit about that child. And I went back into the toilet for a pipe. That's how bad what it does to you.
I can understand that, Debbie, because when you're in addiction, like, it's so sad to say, but that takes over everything. And I can see how hard that is for you to share that story. And I have a couple of stories where it doesn't matter how many times I tell them, I get sad. Like, I can feel it now, because I couldn't be there. And it's not that I ever wanted to be a bad mother. I never wanted to hurt my kids how I was hurt. But I ended up doing it because addiction took over, because life got too much for me. And when we're like that, we're selfish. And the desire to have what you need now, because it's not even, it gives me peace. You're addicted. It overrides everything, Debbie. It overrides. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. It's just hard for me to. I've talked about this a few times, but it's that strong that you step over your own children. You don't care, you know what I mean? It's not that you don't care, because you love them, we love them, but we just don't know how to love them, because we have to put this first, because we're not well, we can't even talk to them. You know what I mean? If
well,
I'm
you're not functioning.
and we're not functioning, we can't do anything for them. And we think by getting that into us, now we're all right, I'm grand, now we can look after.
Now I can do it.
And we can't even, it's worse.
Because they know you're not there.
We're different.
But you know.
He remembers, he was 6 and he remembers that, Lisa.
Yeah.
He just say it to me. And when he said it to me the first time, my heart, because I thought he'd forget, but they don't forget.
They forget.
Children sponge, they take in everything.
Sure, you know what you remember. I know what I remember, Debbie. And it's weird because the bad things always stick out a lot louder than the good thing. Yeah. I don't know why that is, but I can access the dark memories a lot quicker than I can access the really good memories.
Yeah.
I've thought about this. I'm very comfortable in the dark stuff and in sadness and in I feel okay there. And I think that's sad in itself.
Yeah.
Because you get used to that in life.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff you've talked to me about, how would you not be used to?
This was going to say, Jen, we know it, so we're all right with it. We can handle it, isn't it? We can handle it.
Well, we can handle it with a crutch until you fast forward. Until we're able to look in, Debbie. But you're just so comfortable with it that it's like it's nearly expected that this is how life is.
It was. That's what way it was.
I'll get over this one, but I know there's going to be another one waiting around the corner from me. You're always on, the fear is always there because you're waiting on the next bad thing to happen.
Yeah.
You're not making it any better because of the life you're living. Then you're creating the bad stuff. It's never going to
stop because of the choices I'm making, right?
We spoke about that. Yeah. You know, it's until you realise, now I'm part of the problem. So when I was a kid, I wasn't.
Right, yeah.
When you're a kid, you're not part of that problem then, because you're a kid.
Yeah, well, things happen.
And we don't make decisions as kids. Mm. But then when you realise that, hold on a minute, I'm part of this problem now. I'm not looking after my kids. I'm in addiction. I'm not making great choices. And this is going to have an effect. And I said to you, I was 40 when I realised that I was part of my own problem. And if I learned to change and remove some of the things from my life, there was a better probability that bad things would stop. Yeah. Imagine that, Debbie. Imagine you could control a little bit of something. It was like, oh, shit, have I been making life worse for myself?
It's like, it's mad, isn't it?
But it's great talking to someone like this because that understanding and connecting and sharing, you're not alone. And it wasn't all our fault at the beginning, Debbie.
It wasn't, no, it wasn't. No. When your innocence is stolen from you, Lisa, you grow up, there's doors opened. You grow up with so confused. I grew up so confused about life because that door was opened. I knew how to do things that I shouldn't have known at that age. I lost no identity. The shame, the guilt that I carried around for years, that this is my fault. I shouldn't be doing this. I always, for years, and anyone will tell you, especially the bias, that I've always covered mess. I've always covered it. Because of the shame.
On you.
Yeah, because of shame. But it wasn't me. I didn't bring this on myself. It was innocence stolen. And when that happens to you, something's just not, it just doesn't, you grow up completely different.
And it changed you.
And my escape was, I'll just be over here. Leave me over here. I want to be away and not be in this head. So I would be away dreaming.
So was that what the drugs was doing, oblivion, fantasy?
Yes,
like that took you out of yourself?
Completely,
didn't have to feel
the torture that I was going through. And I just wanted to die. I tried to hang myself.
When did that happen, Debbie? How old were you?
So I was coming off cocaine and I couldn't, it's a mental thing when you're coming off cocaine. It's not like a physical thing.
Is it different to heroin and stuff?
It's mental. And I was in a padded cell for 10 days and I was literally talking to the demons. I'm not messing. I could see things crawling up the wall and all. This was off the Richter scale what was going on. I went through a lot, but this was heavy. And 10 days they had me in a padded cell.
Was that for how much cocaine or how long do you have to be taking it to be at that state? Because I would have been like a weekend user, you know, and I'd be on the floor, like, you know, after a bad session, 2-day session or whatever, I would be be so depressed.
Yeah.
But I do know that people who we call them dry sniffers, they sniff every day with their alcohol. Like I would have never took cocaine if I wasn't drinking. But I know, like, is that what it takes?
I didn't drink. I just took
crazy,
drugs.
Debbie.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And how did you stop taking heroin? Were you still taking heroin?
Yeah, it's called a freebasing, snowballs. They call it snowballs, so it's heroin and coke mixed together.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you're up and down, even mental stuff, like.
Fuck, Debbie.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, but it was the thing to do. It wasn't a big deal, you know. It was like,
that's just the next step that I'm.
All right, yeah. That's the way life was.
But can you look back, like, and say, like, I say I've no regrets because there's no point. I couldn't change anything.
Yeah.
And if I was born in the same situation, would I be able to make it any different? I don't think so, Debbie. So no. I'm like, it's pointless. But I do have regrets when I sort of, you know, like, I look back after my husband died and I wish that I wasn't a drinker. And I wish that I could have brought the kids through that grief and myself in a nice, gentle way. Like, you know, so that stuff, like, I think about myself now, and if I was like this when my husband died, my God, I'd be well, you know, like, I think I'd have so many tools to sit with them in their pain and in their suffering instead of run. So I find it hard to say I have no regrets, but I think when I look back and if nothing changed what happened to me and I was that person, well, I wouldn't have been able to change anything anyway then. I wouldn't have any of that tool. I had to go through all that to get where, to be who I am right now.
I think we have I believe every human being goes through dark periods of their life and we all come out of it. We all end up in the wilderness and we all come out of that. Do you know what I mean?
I think the lucky ones, Debbie. How many people do you know who died way before that time?
Oh, a lot, a lot of people. Yeah, well,
so they don't get a chance.
They didn't get a chance from overdoses. A lot of people died from AIDS in the 80s. A lot of my friends. So, yeah. But what I'm saying is we do go to everyone goes through the darkness, but they'll come out of it. But not everyone, you know. But those people that are alive will come out of it, you know, because it'll pass. It's just when you're in it, Lisa, it's so devastating because you don't see anything. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't see that there's a way out. You don't believe that there's anyone there for you, and you believe that you're on your own on this planet on your own. Yeah, and you're just so depressed and so, you know, suicidal. You don't want to. Fear. I was driven by fear all my life, and I only realised that a couple of years ago.
You know, Davy's face said the very same yesterday.
He didn't, did he?
Very fear was like he's driving.
Fear drove me all my life, and I only found that out like about a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, and I'm like, what you said, oh, ding dong, hello. 50 odd years of age I am now. I'm 57 years of age. I'm only finding out 2 years ago. The fear drove me for my whole life. You know what I mean? It's like.
And how did you come to the understanding of, like, so what's it like not having that fear? Like, you know, how did you know?
I still get it. I get anxiety. But not as bad. And I have the tools to pick up.
Yeah.
You know, now I pick the tools up and I know it's I think
passes.
Like it always passed. This too shall pass. For I to be like faith over fear, you know.
You have all your little slogans.
Yeah, I'd say that. And God, without God, Lisa, I don't know where I'd be today because He has took care of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Jesus says you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, right? And that's what set me free.
The truth, because
I know it's fear that's not even there.
It's in your head.
It's all in my head. In your head.
That's still wild, Eddie. It's not sure.
So, yeah.
I have sore jaws from coming down in the car from laughing with it as well, as much as well.
So I try to overcome that by having faith. knowing that it's lies, all this head stuff. It's all lies, you know what I mean? That goes on, all this stuff. But we did go through a lot.
And like, look,
Hell,
I don't know about you, but when I started to sort of wake up and look over my shoulder at what was behind me, I was like, no fucking way that this is all normal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people die, people get sick, people get phone calls that someone's in an accident. There's alcoholics in every community, there's addicts in every community.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like every person has such a heavy load from where we come from of these big, massive issues, abuse and addiction and criminality and prison. And I don't know about you, Debbie, but I mean, do you feel that other people in other communities have it a little bit less heavy than where we come from?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely, but like especially what's going on today. Do you know what I mean? And I can't talk about that because I can't.
Yeah,
because where I'm at, you know. But absolutely, Lisa.
What was so how old were you when, because I know we spoke a little bit about the car, when did you start to say, I know you tried to commit suicide twice? Was it after them attempts that you were like, okay, I have to change? Or what was the point for you, Debbie, where you thought, I have enough, I have to do something, I can't take anymore?
Oh, so yeah, I was in Abbey Street and I was on my own. And I had money and I had drugs. And I was staying with a friend in Mary's Mansions and I really didn't want to be there. And I was feeding the habit. So I'd have to be out all the time. I'm very independent, asked no one for nothing. I always went out and got my own money. Always, you know. So it was kind of like, most of the time I was on my own and got my own few bob. But then you'd have to straggle us on the tag-alongs, you know, just for a bit of company.
Yeah.
And I'd look after them. That's the way my life was. Now, and then there was most of the time I was always with somebody. You know, I had a lot of friends, associates. I'm not going to call them friends, associates. We were associates. So this night I was on my own. I was only getting out. I was only after doing 18 months and I got out and I'd nowhere to live. So, you know, and it happened to many, many girls. They'd nowhere to go. So you're out on the streets again. And I went out and I got a few bob. Had my gear, a coke, whatever. And I'm in Abbey Street Lane and I've no way to go to have tone on. And I'm like, I'm going to just have one here. Okay. So I used my grind. I don't, you know that?
Yeah, I didn't know whether you injected or not, Debbie. I didn't speak to it about it yet. But
so I hit an artery and I fell on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was in bits, like I was all over the place, blood pumping everywhere. And of course, you just jump back up and you try the other side. And it started lashing out. Like it started lashing, raining, and I'm like sobbing my heart out. God, please, if you're real, get me out of this, 'cause I can't take it anymore. Sobbing like a child. And then sitting down in this lane after having that, and the blood is pumping out everywhere. And you can see the rain, and it's like it's rolling down my legs.
It's making it look even worse than it would. Yeah.
So I'm lying in like baby
fetal position.
God, please help me out of it. So I go. I don't know how I ended up back in that gap, but I did. And I had a few hundred pounds on me, euros, I don't know. And by the next day, 5 o'clock the next day, I hadn't a penny. And then the following day, I never asked my family. I never went down and said, "Ma, help me out of this." Never, because maybe it was ego, I don't know, pride, I don't know. I just didn't want to put that on my mother. I know I did do things on her, but I don't think I was that bad, like robbing her or anything like that. I didn't do that. I know I didn't do that much on her, but when I did take out on her, I tried my best to put it back because she hadn't got it.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think just being in addiction was enough of a burden for her, Debbie, to know her daughter was out there suffering like that. You know what I mean?
Killed her. Killed her. ripped her asunder. She used to be out looking for me everywhere because I was like we got partners.
I say that about my ma, Debbie. Me and my ma felt more like partners growing up than we did. Like,
she got partners, me and my ma. Like, we got partners in everything, so, so
you were saying, I asked what was the changing for you.
Right, and so so I go back to Mary's Mansions, whatever happens. And then 2 days later, Julie pulls up in the car and she's like, we're after getting your passport. Do you want to go to America? And I'm like, no.
I wasn't expecting that, Debbie.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? Do you want to go over to rehab? So I was desperate, Lisa. I was desperate. I was like, no, I don't want
the power of desperation, Debbie.
Yeah. In my heart, and I wanted to go. So I just got in the car, and then 2 days later, I'm in South Central in America.
Wow.
What am I doing here? So yeah, I goes over there, and
was Julia with you? Did she?
No, they put me on a plane on me. I was like white on the plane, like, and
was there anyone meeting you over there? Oh, okay. So there was a group of people, an organisation.
It was a Victory Outreach Rehabilitation Centre.
Davey was speaking about that yesterday as well.
One of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yes,
absolutely. So I get off the plane, I'm out of it, falling all over the tarmac, and I'm like, thinking I'm in Dublin Airport. Who's picking me up?
I can imagine, I can imagine.
And these two women come up and they have this sign, Victory Outreach. So I'm like, my thinking was, I had a little bag with me because I had nothing. Little bag with me, like with probably a pair of runners and a pair of pajamas or something. My poor mum was at stuffing into a bag, God.
Your essentials.
Essentials, God love her. Because she was thinking, and it's only probably across the water, like Liverpool or something. I'm on the plane for nearly 12 hours. And so that day, what I wanted to do was put me little bits and bobs, in a locker and leg it down the street to get something. Because I thought
that was your plan. You're a MacGyver plan, Debbie.
Yeah, that did happen to me because I went with them. God healed me in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of from nearly 40 years of addiction. In 2 weeks.
How old were you when you went to America
25.
on the plane? 45.
Yeah. In 2 weeks, I was clean, brand new champagne. I was like, what the heck is going on here? This is too... Yeah. And what did I do? After about a month, I'm like, these are brainwashing me. These are all mental in here. This is the head.
Yeah.
These are all one of these people. These are these people that the pastor gets with all the girls and we're all going to have babies.
You thought it was a cult?
Yeah, it was. I thought this is a cult. So I started ripping up the Bible and ripping up everything, wrecking everything. And I legged it. And I left I was gone for about a month on the streets over there, thinking I'm in Sheriff Street. Yeah, can you get me a bit of gear? I'm not messing like that. These are the complete...
Whereabouts is that? In California?
South Central, yeah.
It's in California, okay.
Compton, Compton. Yeah. All the way I'm like, what is wrong with you? When you're mental, you're mental.
No, there's nothing sure. And then you're not even scared to go to places like this because you're like, I know these type of people.
I was living out in a garage in the back of it. Because over there they have garages attached onto the house, big, huge garages. So me and another girl and a couple of Mexican blokes all lived in the garage. Like, and I'm like...
It sounds like a movie that you're telling me, Debbie.
Get us a bit, will you get me a bit of gear? Like, what's gear? Because they don't even...
That's not their lingo.
No, like,
so what was it over there?
The street, they call it heroin or something.
Okay.
Completely different. Like, the crack, completely different. Absolutely. Like, even the way they smoke, they're like,
It was all different. But you thought you were back there in the street.
Massive. Because I was on it,
Yeah.
But you think you just go back to where you were. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, they're like me and like on the street. They're from Sheriff.
Yeah, in your head.
In my mind, yeah. Apparently one of them was prejudiced against white people. He didn't like me at all.
Okay.
And wanted to kill me. Yeah. Like, and what over there, this is what he told somebody, and the person that he told went and knew someone from Victory Outreach,
And
they were all looking for me everywhere. But I was all the way over in Hollywood, and where the rehab was in South Central. So South Central is downtown. Hollywood is kind of like uptown.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
it's the opposite sides. Like, it was a good distance.
So they couldn't understand, how did she get there? Because I was on to the place called Redondo Beach. Like, we'd be walking around.
How did you get there?
I'd be walking around and getting lifts, and it was like I was on the streets.
But isn't it weird, because we talk about how much fear drives us, but then there's this fearlessness as well.
Yeah,
like, what normal person would do that? Like, I put myself into situations, Debbie, that
I thought that was normal, because I was done it in London, and I made me way. Same thing happened to me. I went to Victory Outreach in Harrison in London, and I done the same thing, like that, because I couldn't come off drugs, Lisa. I couldn't shake this addiction. I couldn't come. I tried everything, and I couldn't do it in Dublin. There's no way. Could never do it.
And what happened then?
Even
Did they find you? Did you go
I
back?
always got drugs.
Sure, I have not been in prison, but I do hear that. Sure, it's easier to get them in prisons than it is outside.
So I just couldn't shake it. When I did eventually, so they sent me from South Central to a place called San Bernardino. It was a ranch. So this is a place where there's nothing.
You can't run anywhere. Can't go anywhere.
You can't go, and they put the worst of the worst in it. I didn't even think I was.
Here's a good medal for you, Debbie.
I didn't think, like, I was like, no, I'm not saying that with pride or anything. Lisa, it was one of the best places I ever went, because that's where the rock bottom. That's where God.
You found your faith there.
I was sitting down, and in when you're there, you'll see animals, and they're like a bit bigger, like a rat, a big that size, right?
Yeah.
The ants were that size. The snakes were, you know what I mean? The animals were bigger than they were over here.
Than what you'd be used to.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm sitting down, and I see this hike, whatever you call it, it's like a little mountain, and there's loads of ants coming over. And it's like something, my eyes just opened, and I heard, consider the ants, they're not lazy. They don't need a leader. They just get up and walk. Look at them walk, and I could literally see what they were doing. So,
is this here specifically for the people that's trying to get well, to show them this? Is this part of the program?
No, this is just
a natural
occurrence.
That
happened to me.
Okay.
That happened to me. It was like an awakening. Like God was saying to me, snap out. You're always mumbling, complaining.
That was your moment.
Nothing, you're lazy. You don't walk. And look at the ants.
Look at these little creatures
what they do. Yeah. They don't need a leader to tell them to go here and there. They don't need, they know, like, they just get up and they get on with it.
They do.
And I'm like looking.
They're not even thinking about that piece of work they're doing. They're just doing it. They know the right thing to do.
They're doing it, and they're not. In that there was a big, like, learning I got. I couldn't believe what I was after seeing. But on this place, the nearest shop would be like 2 hours drive, and there's these trains that fly past. Sure, me, because my head, I ain't getting on one of them trains.
I was going to say, I'd imagine you were thinking.
I'm getting on one of them, and they were like, yeah, you'll end up in Arizona somewhere. I don't care, as long as I'm not here. You know, I had that attitude. So when I came around, and I wasn't the only one, they told us that we'd be like stallions, wild stallions, when we come in.
That needs to be broke.
That needs to be tamed. Yeah. And I was on discipline for 6 months, washing dishes. And it took 6 months to break me. Because it was mostly fear, love. Because I was afraid to let anyone in. I had this
shield armor, coat of armor on you.
It wasn't coming down. No one was getting in. No one was going to hurt me the way I was after being hurt. You know, I didn't even tell you what happened with Paul. But nobody was going to haunt me again. I don't care who they are. No one is going to do that to me.
Debbie, who wouldn't put on a suit of armour after experiencing all? Like, I always say, how much can one person take? How much hurt and pain and suffering?
That's why I know God was with me, Lisa. I know God took me through that. So I'm on washing dishes. This is for 100 odd people for their dinner, tea and lunch. And I'm washing the dishes for 6 months.
I thought it was bad in Asherie. We had to rotate it for like 16 people.
We used to have to rake lions like in a desert. Like it's only all desert. And I remember one day and I'm like, Sylvia, I can't do this anymore. And I start crying. And she said, that's all I wanted to see. And I was like,
you were able to feel again.
I was feeling, my heart was getting soft.
Oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, and when you said that, I remember being in Asherie. There was the second treatment centre, and I remember putting my hand on my chest.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm still here. And I was like, I felt myself for the first time, Debbie, and I don't know how long. I was like, I'm here. And so when you said that to me, I started crying. I was like, I get it. You have that moment. I'm still in there.
Yeah.
I'm still here because you're gone for so long in your head and in the bottle, in the crack, in the pipe, whatever it is, Debbie.
Yeah.
And when we realise we're still in there. So when you said that and you smiled after you said I cried. Who smiles when they say I cried? Do you know what I mean? And it was a lovely moment because I understood you.
Yeah.
You know, I really did.
And then I started crying. They showed me out on the television. I ran over. I remember going over and I was like, why am I crying? Because Lassie got knocked over. What's going on with me?
The good news is you got your feelings back. The bad news is you got your feelings back, Debbie.
So my heart got soft. And that's when I started, feelings.
Again.
And emotion.
I know.
Yeah, feelings. Because we have to have a hard heart when you're out there, love. You can't. You have to be hard. You have to be tough because you get walked all over.
Well, we had to be, you know, like a lot of people that know me, let's say, she's a softie underneath all that. And I try to explain to people. But I couldn't be a little delicate flower where I came from. You'd be chewed up. Not that I was going around throwing my weight around. But I needed to be able to stand up for myself and tell people to go off and to be able to put on this exterior that I'm not afraid. I'm terrified most of the time of everything Debbie.
Yeah.
You know.
But at the same time you have to as cold as you're getting older, your heart just gets harder and harder and harder. Even the word of God says your heart gets harder and then he softens it for you. You know, when God comes into your life, Lisa, he does things that's just, isn't he great?
I've had a lovely 4 years sober and to get to know myself and who I am. And I'm still getting to know myself.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been without its massive challenges for me and struggles. And because I have this faith now and I can rely on something that's bigger than me. Every night you'll see me a little setup there that I have. And I'm able to be really thankful for the smallest things that I took for granted for so long. So, you know, I think we all will have a long way to go and we'll keep working on ourselves. But I don't mind getting into bed knowing where I'm at today. I'll take it, Debbie. I'll take it.
Isn't it? We just wanted peace, didn't we, love?
That's all I used to say to my friend. I used to say, I just want a peaceful life. I just want a peaceful life. And then I'd say, I do something. And I'd say, that's the opposite of peace. What are you doing? You're never going to have the madness. Or, you know, you're surrounded yourself with, you're making these decisions and you have people in your life and you're taking these jobs on and it's the opposite of peace.
Yeah.
And I keep saying I want peace. My friend just look at me and say, well, fucking act like you want peace. That changing. She's so logical. Her whole life is like a straight line. Look, she's human. But it's never manic.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think, sorry.
No, you walk away.
I think we like the man. We like the bit of man.
We're comfortable in it, Debbie. We know how to manage it. Yeah, we're comfortable in it. So it's like if you're raised in a dark room the sunlight will hurt. You won't want to go out into the sunlight, Debbie.
That's
You want to go back
true.
into the dark room.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, when you grow up in something, you get very accustomed to it.
Yeah.
And then you live in it because you're used to it. Then when you start, changing is scary. Not knowing who you are and stepping into another world, for want of a better analogy, is it's fucking terrifying, Debbie.
Yeah. Because you don't know what you're stepping into.
No.
You don't.
And who am I in this situation?
Yeah, what way am I going to be? Well, what character is going to...
So I put on my calm face, but inside I'm like, what's going on? I'm getting nervous.
It's poker face time. What's going on? Yeah,
you get me, Debbie.
But we're kind of people. I always have this in my head that when I go into a new chapter in my life or a new situation, new job, a new whatever, I know in a week or two I'll be used to everybody.
I do that.
I know that.
So I accept the nerves now, and then I'm going to be a little bit awkward, and I'm going to be sussing the place because we scan everything.
Scan everything.
And we get that from our childhood. I scan a room, scan people, I get the feel of them. But I'm like, Lisa, this is not your first rodeo. In a week or two,
you'll be grand.
You'll be fine. That's mad.
You'll be running a place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm all. So anytime I go into a place now, I'd be like, because I'm not near. I was only saying to one of my friends the other day, because one of them was coming to help us, and he's like, I'm all nervous going in here, and I'm all nervous, and I'm not nervous. Is that pride? Am I being prideful? Should I be nervous?
You're questioning your
I'm questioning myself. Yeah, I know.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I know. No, we're mad people.
Yeah.
But just to say, so the ranch, what happened after that? Tell us then what happened in America.
So I stayed there, and I was supposed to only stay there for 3 months, 90 days, and sure, I stayed there for 5 years. Loved it.
5 years there. And did you move out of the ranch and did you go else? Okay.
So I graduated after 12 months. I went to live with a family, and it was called Down the Hill.
Okay.
Alex and Tina. I went to live with them and the kids, the 5 kids. And I just carried on living. I got a job in a flower shop. I got a job in a place called American Heritage University. This Nigerian man came over to set up a company, and my friend was working for him, and he took me in as an intern, and he just loved me because he came over with nothing and I had nothing. So he identified. You had that connection with you straight away. And now his business is blooming in downtown LA. Do you know what it's called? American Heritage University, Dr. O. I loved him. That's his name.
I have to look it up then and have a look.
He was so. Did you ever come across a man or a woman that's real, like huggy, bare? You know, kind of.
But you have this. You're not afraid of it. It's very authentic and it's nice to accept.
One of them people. But but if you were in trouble and you hate his voice, you know, like you had an authoritative voice, you'd be like, oh, say nothing, you know. But he was great. He put you in your place. Good to me. Yeah, I'd put me in my place in a minute. Yeah, you know.
Nothing wrong with a bit of discipline.
I needed that. That's why I loved it. I loved the ranch because no one sugarcoated anything. They chopped me up. And I needed that.
Isn't that the great thing about, like, even when you stay in, like, you know, I do a bit of facilitation, and I have a friend that does a bit now, and she says, you know, where you stand with everyone says it as it is.
Yeah.
The truth in them rooms and the honesty.
Yes. Yeah.
And you never leave, like, you might feel a little bit heavy because the subjects can be heavy.
So, yeah.
But you always feel like, isn't it great that people can be themselves and speak
honest.
that truth and say about a crappy story or a crappy situation. Yeah. There's no shame there. There's no guilt. You can talk about it.
That's great.
It's amazing, Debbie. It's like what we're doing right here.
Absolutely. And that's why because they said to me, Debbie, you don't know the truth. You don't know the truth. You're living a delusional life. So I always, anybody that I'm with, and I only had this conversation with a friend of mine 2 nights ago. I told him, I said, if you're not telling me the truth, I don't want to know. I'd rather me and you not talk.
No time for.
I've no time for bull. I have no time for it, Lisa.
I think the longer, and because you're so honest and you're telling the truth, and you're communicating with people, you're telling them how you feel, you're telling them, and when there's dishonesty there, Debbie, you can't go on with it.
It's like, I don't even, you're insulting my intelligence first and foremost. You're disrespecting me because you're talking stupid, like.
And I don't have to take it. I don't have to listen to it.
It's lies, you know.
And we know what that living that life is like, Debbie.
So
nothing good comes from it.
This is mad that we're talking about this, because I was having a conversation with my friend 2 nights ago, and he said, I appreciate you because you talk the truth. And I said, and I appreciate you because you talk the truth. I remember I was telling you, I was like, why do I not understand blood? You know, what's going on? I don't understand you.
It's so refreshing.
To
have someone to sit and speak honestly with you, and you know, to disagree and say, I don't really agree with that. And I'm like, and then I might think, actually, I never looked at it that way. And then I've been changed, my mind, and it's been done in a real nice way. Because remember, if someone disagrees with your addiction,
you're killing
horns.
You kill horns.
You know, so
because you get offended, right?
So it is. It's you really need to be around those type of people in your life. I think after going through all that, Debbie, and having a bit of peace and that light back in your life, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people in every area where possible.
Yeah, because if you don't, you're gonna. Even I was with a few girls there the other night, and I was like, I don't know about you, but when I'm get caught up in gossiping and I'm talking about anybody and I walk away, Lisa, I'd be tortured.
Leaves a really bad.
It's like something's after covering me.
It's like that black cloud, and you don't feel good,
and
Debbie.
I'm like, why was I saying that about that so-and-so person? What did I do? Why did I do that? It leaves me feeling heavy, you know, and immediately I need to go back and say, I'm sorry, because if I don't, then the resentment.
But you can do that now, Debbie. That's the beauty. You can do that, and you can be aware of yourself. You know, sorry if I'm wrong, and you know.
And there's so much power in it, isn't there? There's so much power where you can just say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and forgive me, you know.
Imagine everyone was
like that.
It'd be amazing.
Like even me saying that, and I'm like, am I really like that? Yeah, I
am. Questioning yourself,
but I like being like that. That's what happened to me when I first got clean. These are the people who helped me, and it was always the truth.
So you were surrounded by that, Debbie. And did that stay that way for you in America? Or which way did you come home from America after 5 years? Like what?
So I came home in 2010, as you were talking about all the snow and everything.
It was the big snow, the last massive one we had.
I remember meeting you.
No, you said that and you brought it back to me. I forgot. Yeah.
I remember meeting you because I was always thinking about you. I was like, she was in Godchild. I never even bought a card. I trumped you. Why would you not buy
for all the things you had going on?
Blah, blah, blah. You know, how could you do that? And you're going to bump into us someday and you haven't even got a penny for it. All this stuff can go, you know.
And
I knew your man lived across from Julie. And then I see you. And then you tell me that your husband, no address is so. And I see it and you're so happy. And I was like, if anybody deserves this, she deserves it. Because I remember your dad. I remember the human lake. Here comes the mirror man. He was so handsome.
He was very good looking.
Very good looking. Yeah. Even was a stunner. That didn't. He loved, absolutely adored your mother. And he just loved that, and he loved the family, that, and he was real quiet. And
I think he always wanted that because maybe he felt he didn't get that himself. And he was the youngest of 7, so you can imagine, you know, big families from the buildings. But I think that's why, you know, the way you always want what you don't get as a child, Debbie. And I think that's where he was.
Yeah, he was just a great person. I knew him. And I know I was only a child, but I knew him and I remembered him. And when that happened to him, it was just devastating. So to see you with a good person and see children in the car and your kids, and they were only babies, and I'm like, I was really, really, I was happy for you, because I was after getting it together as well, and I had peace.
And you're really, you're
wanted-
championing people, aren't you, when you're well, Debbie?
I'm like, get this, get well.
I know.
You can have peace. So I was on fire, and when I to see you the first person, I was like, and because I didn't go out for 3 months when I come home, Lisa, because I faced some demons when I come home. And I didn't go outside my ma's door, and I got the stick that was flying, because I was at the putting on, like, came back size 16.
I do remember you put on.
Yeah. I lived on burritos.
You were like a white Mexican when coming home.
And I was talking American and everything, so could you picture the stick in my mouth? They gave me a brutal life. Anyways, the stick was flying, so I remember meeting you, and I was all happy for you. So I didn't come out meet me mass for about 3 months. Took me about 4 or 5 months to walk past the city clinic. I wouldn't. And then I remember something happened inside me. Something just woke up inside me, and I just started walking around the streets and then Sean Curran and Talma took me under their wing.
Who are they?
The pastors from the Finglas Church. And they took me under their wing, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I didn't even know that there were that many Christian people in Ireland. I didn't even know there was that many churches.
It opened up a massive door for you then, Debbie.
Yeah, and I ended up I didn't know about NA and CA and all them AAs, and had the clue.
Did you not know about those coming back from?
Nobody. No, when I was in addiction, no one ever mentioned NA. The only time I heard about it was when I was in prison, and I only went to them for cigarettes. As you do. You know what I mean? And you love to be trying to get what you can.
In the meetings in prison, so you'd go in. Yeah, I get you now. I get you,
yeah. So that's the only time I've ever heard. So I didn't really know much, because I was a drug addict all my life. I didn't know anything. All I knew was robbing and taking drugs. You know what I mean?
So didn't know anything about recovery or anything, Debbie, nothing. The world must have been a really small place than what you were used to.
Because I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Away with the fairies. Just wave me over here with the fun, at the dark side of the moon. I'm grand. Do you know what I mean? So I'm all right with that. In that world, you know. But yeah, I come home and face a lot of stuff. And so they took me under their wing, and I just I start walking. I've walked in a lot of places. I don't know where I started walking when I came home first. I got a lovely house, a lovely apartment in Clontarf.
So very nice.
I'm not happy about that.
I'd say you were, Debbie.
So God just blessed me. I was getting things.
All the good things were happening, Debbie.
What's going on? This is great. You know, God was blessing me left, right, and centre. I was getting, things were just falling into me. I was getting jobs.
It all happened.
And I relapsed.
How long was that after you come home, Debbie?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
What do you think caused
No, 4 years. I didn't do the internal work of I done a spiritual work and mental work and all that. I didn't face what I told you about the trauma stuff. Not when I was not the abuse,
but all the witness and stuff.
The stuff
that
I witnessed.
Massive, Debbie.
I didn't acknowledge it.
No.
What happened to me? I didn't acknowledge that I seen all this, and that's just tip of the iceberg, love. You know, there was a lot of other stuff.
I know, because I'd share main events, but there was so much in between the main events.
And I still, to me, and I don't know if I'm being deluded here. I think that's all right.
Well, you just think that's just the way it was for us. You grew up in Gromera.
I don't think it's that bad.
But you don't grow up in Gromera, do you, Debbie?
No, you don't, because now I didn't deal with the seed. Do you know what I mean? I dealt with all the other stuff. I didn't deal with the seed. It needed to be, and there was a lot of other things that I was getting brought back to me mind, like memory
coming up to the surface,
and I'm like, oh, Mommy, did that happen? And this happened and that, you know. So
do you think that's what happens then? Because I find that's been happening to me the past 4 years. That the more well you're getting. All these, like, it's like you deal with this and then another something comes up. And, you know, and then the anger as well.
I'm very angry.
Yeah.
Very angry.
But can you understand why you were angry? Because I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very angry. I harmed a lot of people in my life that I would never, I wouldn't say boo to you.
Yeah.
Without saying I'm sorry.
No, because you can do the right thing now, Debbie. Yeah. And I think you've access, because I always say somewhere in there in everybody there's a really lovely, good person. You know, we're born good people, Debbie. And then all these things happen and then we become angry and we become, you know, rebellious and doing the wrong things and harming people. And I always say, when you start in the work and stuff, you start to access that person that's really in there, that pure child that was there at the beginning before all this stuff happened. And that person would never hurt anybody. No. That person is full of light and love and goodness. Yeah. And we came from, you know, like, you know, your creator. Yeah. No, I know you speak a lot about God and yeah. So what's it been like? So when you found that you relapsed, how did you get back on there? How long did the relapse last for you?
2 years. This time 2 years. I went to Tiglain and I stayed there for 6 months and I met a key worker there and she's my best friend today.
Really?
Yeah. Love her. Yeah. So she helped me a lot. I remember, and God does know who he's putting into your life, Lisa. He knows. She was chopped. She was like, no, but she knew
the people that you had to.
She knew what kind of person I was.
So you know, did you have to detach from
everybody's eyes. I couldn't pull her over her eyes. She's dead white. Yeah. And God, she's going to be a key worker. Well, they told me, God, they said she's going to be a key worker. But God put her in my life, and I know he did, because she was able to
see through your bullshit.
Everything. Yeah. And she was only there for 3 months. She was finishing up when I was there.
Okay.
And I was going mad because I'm a person, I have to have it, like, you have to tell me this is the way it is. It's right or wrong, and you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll take
but
it.
You need the structure and the discipline as well.
Yeah, and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember going in one day and I was trying to pull the wool over one of their eyes, and I did for a while, and then I walked in and she said, do you know what? You need to let your sorries be sorry. And that that was in my heart.
That one thing.
One thing she said to me, you need to let your sorries be sorry. And I went away. It was said in an authoritative way.
But isn't that like... But that's after landing with me.
Right.
You know, when someone continuously say sorry. Or if I was the person.
Always saying it.
But it means nothing if you keep doing the same thing over and over to a person. Yeah. So let your sorries
be sorry.
Be sorry. I'm going to keep that one, Debbie.
I know. And
keep that one.
I was like, I'm going to kill you. I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. Blah, 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 blah. And she said, yeah, because I'm not telling you the truth.
She was very matter of fact, Debbie.
Yeah, and I love it. And we've remained friends since.
You can always appreciate those people
I respect people that is honest, love. I respect people that will tell me, Debbie, this is the way it is. You're a this and you're a that. And I'd say thanks. I have a lot of respect for people that have tell me the truth. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be living deluded anymore.
Oh,
I lived a delusional life for years.
For a long time.
Yeah, tell me the way it is, and that's fine. Because you know what, Lisa, at the end of the day, none of us, what is normal?
I don't believe there's such a thing, to be honest with you. It's like the word perfect for me.
There's no perfect.
I don't believe anything can be perfect. Actually, I don't like things perfect, so I'm totally honest with you, Debbie. Yeah. I like things a little bit hickety-pickledy and a little bit of character and up and down and a little bit of rough around the edges. And you can tell by looking around, your mother to say to me,
I love it.
How do you fucking clean this house? She says to me, I wouldn't clean that for €50 an hour because of all the stuff in it.
No,
but I like character
you
and
like
stuff.
Character. I love it.
And I like, you know, when you go into someone's house and you can nearly tell what type of personality or who they are by...
Not too straight.
2 clean lines and everything in its place. And
you can't even sit down and have a cup of tea, taking the cup out and washing it.
And 2 matching, everything is 2 matching, whatever. I'm like, no!
I was like that, not like that.
You said that to
I'm
me.
going out plants and all now. I'm going to have them plants in where you take the oxygen.
I know, I laughed when you said you like plants.
I love plants.
Because I think I've 50 something of them.
500 plants.
And me man's like Tarzan is going to fucking fly out of that room. It's like a jungle. I have to hide them on the kids. And I said to you, and you looked at me.
Yeah.
I said, but Debbie, I do say to me kid, if you grew up where I grew up and it was all that concrete and grey and there was no flowers.
Yeah, grey.
Wasn't it though? Am I the only one that thinks that?
You'd be running through the fields all day.
And I said, and I showed them pictures someone put up online. I was like, and this is the lovely fruit and vegetable shop and this is the chipper. And they were like, is that done for a movie? I said, fucking no, that's the way you look. And I said to my youngest son, I said, do you understand why I love green and plants?
Yeah.
Because, and he sort of looked at me, he didn't say it, but I know he'll think about that.
Right.
And then he won't probably give me a hard time the next plant I bring in the door. That's the whole thing.
And if we had got flowers, they were for fake.
I don't remember. We used to go up to East Wall and pull all their ones out of our gardens and bring them home. I say, Ma, look what I got for you. Ma, look what I got for you.
Yeah.
I think it was...
I wanted them blowy things.
Oh, the Ginny Joes. You call them a Ginny Joe? Oh, the piss in the bed, this is the yellow ones. Oh, stop, I'm really being brought down memory lane now, Debbie.
I'm telling you.
But just so we can, because I want to be able to get through like where we're at. So, well, Tiglin, you met a good friend.
Yeah.
You come out of there. Tell us what.
Yeah, and I came out of there and what happened? Yeah, I'm building my life up. I'm not going to go on. Like, I'm building my life up now and just getting on with life. I love going to church. Jesus is my saviour. He's
your man.
He's
your man.
I love Jesus Christ. I love the Lord. I love his word. And I go to church, All Nations, Pastor John. I love it. It's a big church, thriving church.
Where is that, Debbie?
That's in I was going to say South Central. It's over the south side.
Okay.
Not South Circular Road, the boxing arena.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he preaches in the boxing ring. Can you believe it? God has a sense of humour. Great. And I'm walking now in it's a hostel for refugees and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot going on in Dublin that it's just chaotic at the moment. But I'm building my relationship with my son, who I absolutely love.
How old is Lee now? You were joking.
Yeah.
It's only 3. There's not only 3 years between me and Lee.
Yeah, and I contradicted my ma. My ma told me she's telling me that I was born. Yeah, my ma's telling me that I was born on the 17th of March, 1969, all her life, and now she's trying to tell me, no, you wouldn't. You were born on the 18th, and it's 1970.
She's telling you?
Yeah.
So was your birthday being wrong for Debbie? Oh,
I'm messing.
I suppose when you have so many kids, you end up getting confused by the end.
I'm telling you.
Well, you were the firstborn.
But my man knows all Barney Mitchell's kids' dates of birth and all their birthdays. And
you were the firstborn, though, yeah?
But she says to me, no, you were born after 12 o'clock, so therefore you were born on the 8th. And I'm like, so you're telling me I'm celebrating my birthday? She was killing over this.
For 56 years.
On Paddy's Day, I know you're only telling me that I wasn't born on Paddy's Day. See you. And then Julie. Oh, Lisa. We all went away, right? We're all going to Puerto Rico about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And we were all queuing for ages, like a herd of cows in the airport. And we get up. And next of all, and we were after doing all 18, so we walked away. Me and my man, Lindsay and Olivia. And next of all, Julie. Apparently, on our birth cert, it was Julia. It wasn't Julie, so they wouldn't let her go away.
You were joking me. So Julie is Julia.
Julia. She when she had her, she named her Julia and not Julie. So she's been calling herself Julie all her life. Now, they'll probably say to me, no, the passport, the birth cert was wrong. But it wasn't. I had Juliet with a T at the end.
Juliet.
I
thought you said Julia, so Juliet.
Juliet, that's her name.
Next time I see
one, I'm going to Julie. So I'm like, this is nice.
Did I tell you what happened to me when I was 15 going for my first passport?
No.
And I was over in the passport office and my ma said, Ma, they can't find me birth cert. I needed a birth. And she was like, I said, is it like the spelling right of me dad? Is me dad? Is me mum? You know, I guess
the spelling right.
It's the spelling right. And she says to me, and there was no mobile, so I was ringing on the phone out the passport office and putting the money in. And she goes, she says, I forgot to tell you. She said, your name is not Lisa on your birth cert. It's Elizabeth.
It's Elizabeth.
I never knew my name was Elizabeth.
I never knew Julie was Julia.
So there you go. And I says to her, you're winding me up.
Yeah.
And she says, that's your nanny's name and my name. And I was like, so then my husband started calling me.
It was a thing, like,
you caused that kid after themselves. And then, so my husband started saying to me, when I told him the story, Elizabeth III. And he started bouncing me like. But, and then I remember I did the Access programme in Trinity.
Yeah.
They would only put you down in your classes on your birth cert name.
And you had a middle name, like Debbie Catherine. Yours was Lisa Elizabeth?
No, mine was Elizabeth. I was no Lisa on my birth cert, Debbie. It doesn't exist. It's on my baptism cert. This is what I'm telling you. So in the Trinity Access, when a lecturer called me out and he's like, Elizabeth, sure, I wasn't looking up. I was never called Elizabeth.
No.
And I had to put my name down as Elizabeth Christine, born with 2 grandmothers. So I broke that fucking cycle. I wasn't calling my own kid. I wasn't
It's something that happened years ago. I don't know why, but they were all
head cases.
Yeah, like out and gone.
Are you showing out your Debbie?
I tell you, so did you call me Captain first or Deborah? What did you call? Like the laugh.
No, very funny. But you do got to laugh. And you know what? I remember a counsellor in Smarmore telling me when I went there, he was, in his spare time, he was a comedian.
Right.
So you can imagine the laugh we were having on one-to-one sessions.
Yeah.
And he says to me, Lisa, I was telling him about my story and he's typing. And he kept looking up over the computer. And I was like, I'm fucking not lying to you. This is what happened. So I was typing away.
Yeah.
And because he's a comedian, he's putting a funny spin on the stuff.
Yeah.
So me and him would be having the crack about things. And he'd say, I'm sorry for that. And I'd say, no, it's okay. Like,
we're used to it. Yeah.
And he says, that's where comedy derived from. Great tragedy. It was that difficult and hard and heavy that people start putting a funny spin on it to be able to get out of the darkness.
Absolutely.
And I said, that makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to just laugh.
There we go. We learn something new every day, don't we? But, because I know we're coming up to nearly an hour and a half, and usually at around that time I felt it. So I want you to be able to say, if you didn't say something or if you want to share anything else before we...
No, I'm just... Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I just did...
I have a question that I always ask, and just to say as well, Debbie, that, coming down in the car, because I would have thought, like everyone I've sat with, I thought I knew everything about, not everything, but like the main events, and every person that has sat with me, I have learned more, and I've looked at them with, oh my God, did you really go through all that? And coming down in the car with you, it was the very same. Like I could feel myself getting emotional. I think both of us were having a couple of moments, sharing a few stories. And when I listen to what you've witnessed, what you've experienced, and the level of addiction and the going away, and to sit here, I was like this with, Emer as well.
Yeah.
And to be having these conversations and to be laughing and to look at how well you look and what you've been through in 57, am I all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
In 57 years. And to sit here and have faith and belief and be doing well and living a good life and be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nothing short of a fucking miracle.
I see the way you say that, I'm like,
I can see you're uncomfortable with me.
Very uncomfortable.
How do you not think
I don't know him like
that you are amazing sitting there tonight after experiencing all that stuff? Like when you were telling me this stuff, I was like, it's this fucking one person's life, but it's not. So let's not say, do you know what we need to stop saying, Debbie? That it's normal.
No, but it was normal.
No, it was our normal growing up in it. But now that we can look back and we've lived different experiences, would you want your child living that life?
Absolutely not. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to stop taking drugs. I didn't want my grandkids to see me doing what I was doing. I didn't want them to see me on the clinic. That's why, that was one of the reasons. Well, one of the reasons because my mind was getting jacked up.
And I always say that
kids as well.
because we do it for ourselves at the beginning. I'd love to say I stopped drinking because my kids and they were suffering. But it's not true, Debbie.
No, absolutely
I stopped because
not.
I had enough, because I was even selfish about that.
Yeah,
I had enough.
yeah.
But then when I got well now, what keeps me well is those kids out
consequences,
there.
If we go back on it.
I to take that trust away from them and to become that version of like that parent that I was, and that I never want to do that again. So you are amazing. Your story is fucking unbelievable, and I know it.
I got all cringe.
I'm not going to cringe it out anymore. But and I know you, but I didn't know all that stuff, and I haven't spoke to you in years, and I'm really getting brought to a memory lane and connecting with all these people from where I grew up in such a positive way. Davey yesterday, it's amazing.
Because I couldn't wait to see you today. I haven't seen you. I'm like, she's me godchild. God forgive you. I haven't even got a
Debbie.
No, this is just stuff that goes. And so I couldn't wait to just see you, and I'm like, because I know what you went through as well. You know what I mean? So we're here today.
A lot of hardship, but we're here today, and Debbie, I thoroughly enjoyed that. You know, there's just certain ones like I'm feeling really good, and I'm after going through loads of emotions, but I think the end of it to be smiling and laughing about fun stuff. I always ask one question before we finish it up. So the podcast is Tear Down These Walls. If there was one wall that you could tear down for yourself or society, externally or internally, what would it be, Debbie? So we've had, I'll just tell you, like a few was like stigma and shame, and like I think Davey yesterday was like surrender, to be able to surrender. So,
for myself, or for everybody, or just for myself?
Just for yourself, Debbie, whatever you want.
For myself at the moment, to come to accepting that this happened. And to accept it, just to accept that it all happened. And so there's a big thing in accepting.
And me and Davey spoke about that. I think in recovery,
it's a big thing.
Acceptance for me was accepting where I'm at, what happened, the way things are now.
And
and that's the only way you can move forward.
I know, and accepting that. There was a thing I used to have this, like, accepting that I couldn't accept that it didn't happen. No, that's not all. That what I put into it, I put a lot into stuff that didn't happen, and it was hard for me to accept that it could have happened.
That it could have been different. It
could have been different. That's what I'm looking for. And I have to come to an acceptance that it wasn't different. It was like that. That's the way it was. And that's what I'm struggling with.
Well, it's funny because letting go is a big one for me, Debbie. I find it very hard to let go of anything. I'm a real holding tight, even the bad things for me.
I completely get that.
And letting go of the life I thought I would have, letting go of who I was, letting go of, because I still could go into fantasy and create this illusion in life for myself, and I'll hang on to it with dear life, and I'll do everything to make it possible, but it's
going to happen.
Might not. So accepting today and where I'm at and who I am, but letting go is such a difficult one, I think.
But the one thing, and I remember, I was praying for this and praying for it, and God granted me was to be content. In everything. And I remember being content. If I hadn't got a penny, I hadn't a penny. If I had nothing to eat, I had nothing to eat. I wasn't going to die.
That's massive acceptance.
So content in that. And then I had a relapse. So that's what I'm praying for now, to be content. And I can feel that it's happening again. The journey where it's happening.
And everything takes time.
It takes time, yeah.
You have to be really patient with yourself in this.
Yeah.
Really
A
patient
lot of
is
self-control and patience.
waking up and like, it's only 24 hours. I can do this today. I can get that done. I can do this. Everything is okay. I'm constantly soothing myself and saying, it's okay. Everything is okay. You're going to get through today, Lisa. I'm constantly telling myself that,
Debbie. I like that,
because some days they can be very difficult for me to feel like, oh shit, how am I going to get through that? You know, if I have stuff on, or it could be financial, or it could be something going on with someone, and I say it's only 24 hours, you can do this, everything's okay.
Oh,
you know, so it's telling yourself these things, Debbie.
That's true, yeah, you're right.
You've brought out loads of parts of me today.
Thank you too.
No, you really have. You really have. Can I read out this quote, because it's always going to remind me of you. Now, my son did this for me, Clay. And you went down to read it when you came in, and when I read it out, the two of us kneeling down, I thought, how much does that land?
Yeah,
so it's good. The most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. You trade in your reality for a role. You trade in your sense for an act. You give up your ability to feel, and in exchange put on a mask. There can't be any large-scale revolution until there's a personal revolution on an individual level. It's got to happen inside first. Jim Morrison.
I love that.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, and it has to happen inside.
Take a photo of it you can. Because Clayton made it for me.
Yeah.
So only for that I'd be like here, but it's Debbie, thanks so much. It's a beautiful one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I give
just
you a
even being with you is amazing. Because you're my little baby, I love you.
Thanks so much, Debbie. It was a real pleasure.
You're welcome.
And as I say to everyone, we can probably do another one again when we're talking about something else.
Grand, isn't it?
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Thank you.